Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Lowell Tourneys. We had a nice quick transition that time. We'll be doing the semifinals, but before we do that, I'll introduce you to myself and my co-caster. I am Pyrotechnics, and I'm being joined by Ed.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Dude, I think the audience is pretty hyped for this one. This is going to be a really solid matchup. Team Jenay versus Do It Noballs. So in the short bracket that we've had today, we've seen some pretty awesome action out of both these teams already.
Definitely, definitely. I really enjoyed last game. For a while there, it was really back and forth. I couldn't really understand who was really going to win, except the fact that Tryndamere was absolutely dominating.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really, really hard to tell, and he was diving so ham. But picking up kills along the way. I mean, that was fantastic. I would not want to face him in the finals, but the winner of this team will have to go up against Takuna, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually ban that Trindo out. This game, the bans are coming really, really quickly anyways. We've already seen Team Jenny on the blue side picking up Pantheon, Elise, and Yasuo, and taking them off the table.
Yep, that early Yasuo ban off, is a really good pick for them. I feel like Yasuo can really be a serious threat or not a threat at all, and I guess they're going on the fact that they could have someone on the other team that would be able to play him pretty well.
Yeah, he's a bit of a wild card character, and it's hard to really account for his infinite snowball potential. On the other side, we have Do It Noballs getting rid of Wukong, getting rid of Renekton and Olaf, so they're more concerned about the tanky, bruisery, hard engage types.
Yep, definitely. And now that you mentioned that, the blue team does have a Pantheon, Yasuo, and Elise, so all three of those are real quick engagers that they're trying to get off the board as well.
Yep, and they're actually taking their picks really early too. Syllabus actually jumps on the Kha'Zix train right away. He just locks it. I mean, that's somebody that you want to be really careful about, even though the 4.5 patch changes have come through. And, negated a little bit of his effectiveness. He's still a scary champion to deal with, and we've seen him very popular in pro play recently. Insec on KT Rolster pulling him out at IEM, and now it's kind of swept through Europe as well and North America.
You're definitely right. Kha'Zix can really prove to be a game changer in this, even though he did get nerfed, like you said. But, that if he can catch someone out early on, the snowball potential is insane. And that's why they also are going to take the Pantheon off. Who else is going to be a good snowballer? That's Pantheon. So they're trying to get him out. Well,
not allow him to be picked up. Yeah. Checkling and Base World, though, they don't really waste any time locking in their bot lane. They opt for the Thresh and Caitlyn. So this is a lane combo that we see kind of mix and match. Thresh goes with just about anyone. Caitlyn goes with just about anyone. But I really like the setup because it allows them to zone while still having a lot of hard engage potential should they land a hook.
It's a really safe bot lane. The fact that Caitlyn has the net, Thresh has the lantern, you're not going to be looking for very quick engages here on the red team.
Yeah, and especially not considering arguably the best counter to Thresh was picked out by Team Jenny. They Lebanon opts for taking the Morgana pickup, and Sulky takes a Lulu. And I think that Lulu, while she can still support, of course, we keep not wanting to gloss over the fact that we actually could be seeing more mid because this is season 2 all over again. I think that Morgana is just an absolutely stellar pickup to stop any hyper aggressive hook action.
Yep, you're definitely right. The Dark Binding going up on anybody can stop Thresh in his tracks. You're going to be able to get nice disengages. While the Lulu pick, is pretty good as well because we've seen how Lulu can absolutely dominate the mid lane, and it looks like they're going to lock in that as well. So I don't know. This could be an interesting pick going on.
Yeah, Nidalee is shown to be a very high skill level champion. She's not ban worthy in most senses unless you're up against somebody like Hotshot, but it's sort of one of those picks that can spiral out of control if you let it. She picks up a couple of kills and gets a death cap earlier than you'd expect her to, and those spears really start to hurt. So Lulu's gonna have to watch out for a lot of pressure off of that. Good poke comp so far for Do It Noballs. They also opt for Lee Sin to get a little more hard engage, and we'll have to see what the answer is from Team Jenay.
You're definitely right. The Mundo pick coming in last in the Lucian. This could be a pretty scary bot lane, at least right off the bat, especially if Morgana lands the Dark Bindings. And, they have nice Sivir. They ended up picking Sivir.
Trolling around. They keep locking around all over the place, and actually they settled on the Jinx. So, I mean, it's a lot of options. It's really hard to call up against a Caitlyn because she's one of those AD carries that doesn't have a strict counter.
Yep, you're definitely right. The Mundo pick I feel like is really safe for them. It'll be interesting to see who they're going to pick into this. And Mundo is really strong in the current meta. They got Morgana, they got the ultimate, they got the Jinx ultimate, they got the Lulu. Blue team's looking really strong right now, while red team's going for more of a tanky disengage comp.
I actually would like to see Olaf picked up. We saw how well he did earlier on as a sort of anti-tank, but instead it looks like the last pickup for BenQ Farmer is going to be Trundle. That gets locked in, and that's also not a bad pickup because Mundo has been figured out for the most part. He was scary for a while and early in the season, but they've decided, you know what, we can just drain away everything he has, and he's not really a problem, even if
You're
we can't kill
definitely
him late
right.
game.
Yep. The Trundle is really, really strong right now in the top lane. He can sustain forever, just like Mundo. Look for a pretty much stalemate going on top lane for at least the first 20, 15 minutes, just because nothing's really going to happen with them as long as they don't get a stellar gank from Kha'Zix, which I really don't see that happening, especially if Trundle knows what he's doing.
Well, the brackets are finally set. Both players, both teams, picking out all of their champions, ready to get into this game between Team Jenay and Do It Noballs. But I want to get a little bit of your opinion here, Ed, on the full lineups in each of the lanes and what we expect to see. We discussed the potential back and forth in the battles in this early game, but when it comes down to it, who clearly has the better comp?
That could be interesting to look at because the blue team, like I said, has more of a quick engage, like we want to stun you all comp, while the red team has a disengage. We've got the Lee Sin ultimate to disengage. We've got Nidalee to be able to transform to get away quick, and the Trundle pillar. So there's a lot of things that the red team could do to get away from the blue team, but there's also a lot of things that the blue team can do to catch up with the red team. So ultimately, what I am seeing here is that blue team has more of a team-oriented comp while they're expecting to lock someone down real quick and pick them off, while the red team is looking for maybe a later game, like let's wait until around 30 minutes until we actually do something legit. So I don't know. I'm going, if the blue team can, if Team Jenay can really do what they're supposed to do, I think they can take this pretty quick.
Yeah, I think they have a better hyper carrying composition as well. The big problem for them is going to be what happens with that Nidalee. Uh, if she gets really big and fed early and gets a lot of jungle support from Lee Sin, it's a scary late game composition. And with BenQ Farmer in the top lane, he should scale better past level 6 than Mundo. If they can get a lot of kills early off, I'm really confident that doing Noballs can pull a win out of this one. But if they can't do that, then I'm going to be a little worried about them in around the 20, 30, 40-minute mark. It's going to start to get really bad if they allow Sulky, if they allow OG Banner to get a lot of kills up onto their respective carries. And if Syllabus gets in there and wreaks havoc like we've all seen good Kha'Zix players do, it could be a lot of trouble for them.
Thresh picking up the exhaust again. I don't know. How do you feel about Thresh running exhaust? Because I know it's an interesting
Well,
pick here.
my bias is going to show a little bit, but I don't like when my support runs Ignite. It's the kill stealing summoner, and I'm all for like picking up an easy kill and maybe finishing your support items a little bit quicker. But your goal as a support is to protect and feed your carry. You want to nurture them so that they get big and strong and can one shot everyone. Caitlyn may not really need that as much. Ignite might be a good choice to control the lane a little bit better, but Exhaust is pretty effective on Jinx. She's of course going to run barriers, so we're not going to be too worried about the potential for a cleanse or something like that. And there really isn't a lot of disengage potential for that bot lane. They're all in. Leviton and Sulky are a very high aggro, high damage comp, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually make the first move to take first blood.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hard to call. So
yeah.
in that bot lane, it's going to be. I think the tide's going to go, and whoever takes the first kill, the carries are going to be focused relentlessly. If Thresh can land a couple of hooks, Sulky's going to be in trouble. There really is a limited disengage potential that Jinx has, and that's why she's become sort of a controversial pick.
You're right. And Mundo running the teleport. Look for the quick ganks for blue lane on bot lane, just reiterating the fact that they're looking to get ahead really early here. Lulu going the barrier, going for the save pick against the Nidalee, who's also running a barrier. So I don't know. Like I said, if red team can really stick off of them, I think the red team has it late game, but I think ultimately that won't happen, and I think the blue team will just be able to outperform them.
Yeah, I think that is really what we're going to look to see. So blue team scales better in the late game. Red team scales not quite as well into the late game, and it's going to be on them to be the aggressors in this semifinal matchup here at Tourney's 5v5 Gold. But we'll be loading into the game, and you all know what that means. It's going to be everybody's favorite part of the tournament. I hope you guys are ready for it. Tweet us it out using the hashtag. It is Skin War Best War.
Yep, Skin War, Best War, and
Get hyped.
I like Mr. Mundoverse. He's a cool skin.
It's not a commonly used one. We've seen Mundos, we've seen corporate Mundos, overused corporate Mundos, but he decided to take a day off, and he's hitting up the gym to, raise some cleavers and pound some iron, get those muscles just a little bit bigger. He's going to be a little bit sad though, because his teammates have only opted for 2 more skins, Mafia Jinx, Mecha Kha'Zix. I like both of those. I like them a lot, but they're going to get a little bit beat out by what we see from their opponents. So yeah, that's a 3 skin to 5, but we'll go over those. Junkyard Trundle, that's an old classic. Headhunter in Italy, wouldn't be on the wrong end of that spear, but that's a pretty scary one. And Officer Kate is also a very, very fun skin. Muay Thai Lee Sin, we've seen him a lot actually, but I do appreciate most Lee Sin skins are actually pretty dope. And then Championship Thresh, another hard to find one these days. You couldn't get it unless you went to the Season 3 Championship Finals or you decided to buy it on that one day.
Yep, definitely. So I guess with my favorite skin coming out here, it's got to be the Championship Thresh, just because he's repping the fact that he got at least gold last season. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a good combo border with it too. I think the Championship Thresh is a nice skin as well. Okay, so we're loading into the game. We're gonna see, I think, a really safe opening. I don't predict a lot of early action. I know the trinket nerfs have made invading a popular strategy once again, but I just don't see these teams doing it. They seem to have picked too safely for it.
You're right. The early Doran's Blades coming out on the Caitlyn and the Jinx, typical AD carry. Thresh going with the Doran's Shield instead of a gold per 5 item. And Mundo going out. Yeah, Mundo going out with the Doran's. Trundle going out with the Doran's. It's really safe picks, just like you said. Both mids typical. And Kha'Zix and Lee Sin.
And Medeo leveled up that W, the traps first, trying to get a positional jump on the opponents, not going for a blind spear level 1. So you can already tell that both Do It Noballs and Team Jenay are opting for this really safe opener. They're all guarding the respective parts of their own jungle. And Medeo is looking to get a little bit far forward, but no hard engage because they do not have that spear. I like this setup. It's going to make for a really long, drawn-out early game, but it means that when there finally does come First Blood, we're going to have a really big spiral effect unless the team who gave the First Blood can start turning it around.
Look for a possibly early pickup on Lee Sin trying to catch Kha'Zix out in his jungle. I feel like that is the best way you can really contain him, especially as Lee Sin. You can get the early damage out, but Kha'Zix, is going to be really weak. So that, exactly what I'm saying, just look for Lee Sin to try to pick him off early on.
Yeah. Kha'Zix is one of those junglers that can be really effective if he does get early picks, but he gets shut down so easily if he does not make a lane presence early in the game. And Lee Sin, I think he's also the same way. He can build tanky, he can be a little bit bigger, but he falls off late game. He falls off so hard that he's not as effective in team fights as he needs to be, and to compensate for that, he's going to have to pick up kills. So we'll see where these junglers go to start things off.
Blue team opting for the lane swap here. That is an interesting pick, trying to shut down the Trundle. Actually, yeah.
It's a good strategy. Mundo ought to be able to handle a 2v1 lane a lot better than Trundle can. And even though they both build extremely defensively, I'm not too worried about Mundo's prospects in that bot lane, whereas Trundle can get poked a lot more. He's an anti-tank. His strategy isn't to be able to get poked. So this top lane turret will get taken really, really fast unless they get a lot of jungle support.
The real key to lane swaps is whoever can kill the enemy turret quicker and start team fighting. And that's exactly what Team Jenay is looking to do here with their quick early game combination, is trying to take this turret down as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, and they really don't want to give any time for BenQ Farmer to be able to start taking advantage of his superior leveling capability. He doesn't have to share experience. He's not going to be too worried about really getting pushed on that hard, because he can just tower farm away. But if they take the tower away from him really quickly, then it won't be as much of an issue. And Lee Sin might have to give him a little bit of support, but he's just going to continue to farm his own jungle. He actually is going to meet Kha'Zix here they're going to be going for a jungle invade. They both got the double buffs, and Lee Sin Base World wanders into that bush. Syllabus takes him all the way down to half health, and now Levitin's chasing. BenQ Farmer right behind. First Blood's going to go to Kha'Zix. He can't take any more double buffs, so they'll just reset for him. Now BenQ Farmer caught a little bit out, has to back away, and nice pickup for Team Jenay.
That is exactly what Team Jenay wanted to do, was find Lee Sin in his jungle and get that early kill, and who better to give it to than that Kha'Zix, who is ultimate snowball. We are going to kill you, champion.
They're chasing. Nice pickup. A really good combo. Syllabus will take yet another kill for himself. He's taken really low by the tower and the slowdown that was on him, but what a fantastic job at neutralizing the top lane opposition that Jenay has pulled out. They're going to pay for it with their bot turret, but I don't think they really mind because Mundo's still holding reasonably strong for now.
You know, the best thing that they could have actually asked for in the first 4 minutes of this game was Kha'Zix to get the first 2 kills. I cannot believe it. Purple team's really going to have to try to get back in this one because they're really struggling here now. Kha'Zix is going to be able to go wherever he wants.
I mean, Base World is by himself at this point. He's really not able to follow up on any attacks. Yeah, here comes BenQ Farmer to relieve the pain, but this tower's already gone. Now, Levitin taking a lot of aggro from that, and so is Sulky, so a little bit low, but they're doing just fine. They gave up the turret swap, so now there's really no need to keep these lanes as are, but I gotta hand it to Team Jenay, picking up the objectives nice and quick, not giving any deaths up. They've got themselves a nice little small makings of a gold lead, and they could rotate really easily and pick up something like Dragon now.
Looking at the CS, mid lanes, you know, relatively close. All lanes actually seem to be really close. Jinx just a slight advantage over that Caitlyn, and jungler's equal. But, you know, that 1k nearly gold lead that Jenay's got is really helping them propel themselves into the let's turret dive time, which I think we'll see coming here shortly.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a petered out switch. Morgana actually already backed, and we should see her going down bot lane to try and defend that tower. Jinx now going to back too. And we'll see the end of this early game lane switcheroo. OG Banner was taken low earlier on, but he's managed to zone Enmadio out of the way, staying behind minions to avoid those spears. And that's really what you got to do against an Italy. You take her ability away, don't let her get superior positioning on you. And Glitter Lance is a much better option than really, anything else you can do at this point. She can force Nidalee to use all of her mana on heals, and then she can't keep throwing spears.
The best thing Team Do It Noballs could have done was take that turret down equally as fast as Team Jenay, and that's what they did. So they're really trying to hang in here, and they're going to rely on the fact that they're not going to get picked off in the jungle. Expect a lot of ward coverage.
Yeah, I think that this is where Kha'Zix's next focus is going to be. He's going to look for that bot lane to try and shut State of Lunacy down. If he gets that off, he should be in a really good shape. Wow, look at this. Enmadio pulls a nice spear up, but gets turned into a squirrel for a trouble. So here comes Syllabus to try and mop it up. But OG Banner is really low on this, and he'll have to back up, and Syllabus is only going to be able to do a little cleanup duty on the minions.
OG Banner almost getting taken down there, but nothing's really going to come out of it as Lee Sin passes O by, and it looks like Jenay is going to go for the early dragon.
No, they're going to take a ward out. There's not enough damage output there, and they know that they're there. They just cleared a pink ward. Now, back with Chusi back in the top lane and BenQ Farmer there too, who do you give this one to? Because Mundo has already gotten better items, and he's forced Trundle not to be able to back by getting in there really quickly in the presence, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get a kill, but he won't die either.
I think initially you would give it to Mundo, just like you said, just because of the issue of Mundo having more items than Trundle. He should be pushing Trundle back as fast as he can, trying to get all these minions as soon as he can.
Look at Syllabus here. He doesn't realize Base World in the area. He saves his jump and uses it defensively, gets out of the way, deals a bit of damage to the Cougar, but he'll have to back in the end and just farm up some minions as he goes. Sulky looking for something on State of Lunacy, and Levitin cannot find that Dark Binding.
Mundo's pretty much going to be able to do whatever he wants now top lane. He's got that double armor. He's got a lot of resistances against Trundle. Trundle still hasn't backed, and he's up by 13 CS. I don't know about this one. Trundle's really going to have to kick it in gear, maybe even gank a lane or two to try to get back in this game.
Yeah, it's a difficult proposition when you're getting sieged up and you don't even have a tower to fall back to. Base World's being forced mid because there's no one to defend it right now. That Nidalee is already backed up for the time being. They'll actually settle for getting the blue buffs, but they're going to let Lulu push up on this, and now with Kha'Zix nowhere to be seen, they've got to be a little bit worried because the bug has, been a real dominant presence in the early game. Those 2 kills that he picked up have really made him a scary thing to behold, and he's a little bit ahead right now of Lee Sin.
I'm actually surprised that he hasn't been trying to target bot lane more. Give their Jinx an early kill, but I'm sure it's coming eventually. But
I
I
think
don't.
they're not too worried about Jinx's early game. Now, see, they're going to actually go into State of Lunacy. Nice little combo there, but he'll get away just fine thanks to the Thresh Lantern. This is all they need to do. Poke, 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 because they have a slight lead and they can continue to snowball it up. If they can take this tower down and get a little bit more of attrition, that'd be fantastic for Team Jenay. All they really need to do is control the map, and they can get it towards the end of the game. But wow, Juicy actually wants to go really hard into BenQ. He gets bitten though, and now both are taken really, really low, but Mundo does have that ult. He's going to be able to heal just about everything back up. He's actually going to launch some masochism there. Nice. Whoa, okay, never mind. He gets back. He's going to back away because there's a pillar in his way. Pillar of nasty, disgusting garbage.
But he's not really going to care because looks like he's going to get caught by that Lee Sin.
Yep, now he does have to force the ult, but it's not enough healing, and Base World will mop that kill up. Nicely done. A little deceptive work that Noballs have done to pick that kill up, and I think that was a really good way to get back into this. Picking up one kill, neutralizing Mundo, freeing up farm.
Yeah, you're right. It was a great bait by Trundle here to as that Lee Sin came in from the back. That's exactly what they needed. The only thing that could have happened better was Trundle get the kill instead of Lee Sin, but it doesn't matter because... What?
Did you see that Nidalee pick up a spear on the syllabus? Like she just threw it completely blind right into his face. That was pretty cool.
Very, you know, that is what makes a good Nidalee, the fact that you could spear things and not know exactly what you're throwing it into.
That's one of the most satisfying noises in the world when you hear that little...
I think as soon as you press that Q, you're just waiting for it. You're just waiting for the... Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Now, with that blue buff that she picked up, she's been able to spam her abilities really, really well, and it's causing a lot of headaches for Lulu in the mid lane, so this is why Kha'Zix is in the area. He's kind of trying to counter pressure, but OG Banner really needs to land a lot more of those glitter lances if she is going to want to, you know, really force Nidalee out of this lane. Meanwhile,
she's kind of just...
Yeah, Levin and Sulky are pushing that bot lane too.
She's kind of just chilling, you know, at half health this entire game, I've noticed. Blue hasn't really done anything to try to go on the aggressive. Kha'Zix really hasn't ganked that many times.
There's no mid lane answer if Nidalee did get forced back, and this is the weakness that Noballs is working with right now because they're getting pushed hard by Jenny in the bot lane, and they're forcing Lee Sin to get in the area. Now here comes Syllabus jumping in the mid onto Emmadao, puts a big wild growth onto him, and they force the flash out. He's still jumping, but now he's taking tower shots, and he'll back away. Almost eats a spear. Nice dodge.
I can respect the fact that they wanted to try to get that Nidalee real quick there, but I think Kha'Zix went a little too ham. He should have understood the fact that Nidalee had a barrier. She had her heal up. I don't think the flash was too necessary there.
Well, they both burned each other's flashes, so that really wasn't too bad of a trade at the end of the day. And now Kha'Zix actually getting reversed on there. But now in the bot lane, Levitin's being dived on, but he gets right back around. Sulky as well. Nice trap stepped on. And Caitlyn has got to be a little bit frustrated that Jinx has gotten the upper hand on her once again.
Looks like Lee Sin's finally trying to take some initiative here and come bot lane before Kha'Zix.
Yeah, but nice Dark Binding lands on to Thresh, and he's not going to be able to do anything anytime soon, but without any turret to fall back to. This could be the end of Levitin. He's going to ult, but not really in range to make anything happen. Syllabus coming in, trying to make something of it, but Trundle is now in the area. Syllabus is going to go down. Jinx launches her rocket, but to no avail. She gets pulled in. They do get the kill, though, and Madaio could go down next. Sulky is in the area to make it happen, and he finds himself in a horde of red, and they come out with 2 for 3, and they are still chasing BenQ Farmer through their own jungle.
Excellent job by Do It Noballs to get back into this game and take this team fight. You know, Mundo was running around without anyone really doing anything to him with no health.
Nice little escape there too. That was Thresh. That was Thresh map awareness 101.
That was very good play by Thresh, but I just couldn't. You know, I feel the reason Team Jenay did not come out on top there is because they just weren't there first. Lee Sin was there first, and Kha'Zix was a little slow.
They managed to trade 3 kills for 2. So technically they came out ahead on that. The problem was they pushed so far, and the collapse came one by one. So there was really a lot of uncertainty for both teams, and when Trundle showed up, it really looked like they were going to get a lot more out of that, but Emmadao was way too aggro towards the end, and without anyone around her, of course she was going to fall down. And
Trundle was
feeding
there.
Jinx is not what they want to do.
Yeah, Trundle was there to pick up the early Kha'Zix kill. That also is what helped turn the tides here.
But that's the real key, though, is that Trundle, the tanks and the anti-tanks picked up the kills for Do It Noballs. But Jenay, the kills that were picked up were primarily on the AD carry. So they're feeding who they need to. So Jenay has got the lead. A little bit of a gold lead, not really much to speak of. 1-for-1 towers, that's about even. But they've got the lead in who they're getting fed. Now OG Banner getting dived really hard, but she dodges all the skill shots. And yeah, Noballs a little overly aggressive with 4 people here. and they really have nothing to show for it.
You're exactly right. You know, let's take a look at this Mundo compared to Trundle CS. 93 to 68.
Ooh, Lulu forced to ult herself though as they go in here. Now Syllabus, all the ults have been burned already, and Base World diving on down on the tower. He actually kicks Syllabus out of the way. Dio eating a bunch of tower shots, and Checkling will absorb that zap. Meanwhile, they cannot really do anything but continue to try and siege. Take and low themselves, they opt to back. Mundo in the top lane got pushed away by BenQ Farmer's Trundle.
Kha'Zix's doing a great job to disengage using his ultimate there. I thought it was sure death for him, but he did a really nice play to get out of there alive.
Yeah, that's the thing about Kha'Zix is that he demands a lot of your attention, and even if it looks like he's going to get caught, that leap is just way too unpredictable now. Juicy, he wanted to get a red buff, but he's not going to be able to pick it up because there's way too many members of Do It Noballs in the area. Mundo's not going to die, and actually he's gotten some backup from Jinx, and they look like they want to seriously invade this hard, but if they're not careful, they could get collapsed on. Here comes Nidalee around the side, flanked by Caitlyn as well, and it's going to be looking to be another fight over by the Baron Pit. Instead,
great
they will
dark
actually
binding.
jump onto Dio. He picks up Syllabus, but a nice rocket ult from Sulky means that it looks like Dio will not be seeing the light of day, and they're looking for another hook. They grab Suchi. That's not who they want. It'll settle for a 1-for-1.
It was a great dark binding there from Morgana on that Nidalee to pick her up. It was a great zone by Jinx's Chompers also to keep her from running away.
Look how much damage Jinx is dealing though. She took Base World down a quarter of his health with just one zap. That's supposed to be one of your tanky members.
That is what the Bloodthirster does, my friend. Whenever you have it, it does damage and also gives you life bath.
The double buffs probably aren't hurting either, and now we're already going to see that the tower's being sieged down upon. OG Banner taking the advantage of the situation. Everyone's focusing middle. Well, I'll poke the tower just a little bit, tickle it up, and, you know, they're going to get out just fine. So far, Team Jenay looking like the better team in this, just by virtue of controlling objectives better.
You know, it also boils down to the fact that they have a stronger initial burst damage than the Purple team does. Purple team's really relying on Nidalee to be able to land those spears and Thresh to be able to land those hooks, and he hasn't really been able to do that. And Morgana's been getting the bindings, and Mundo's been, you know, being their tanky front wall that they need. That's why Jenay's been coming out on top here.
Yeah, now Trundle has managed to pick himself up a couple of kills, but, you know, all he really has to show for it at this point in items is the Blade of the Rune King, and that's not really what they need because Mundo isn't the problem in this game. The laning phase ended so prematurely thanks to the lane swap that they've now got to deal with these team-fighting roaming composition, and this is exactly what Jenny wants. They've got a really solid front line in Dr. Mundo, and Kha'Zix able to jump in, jump out. He may not be tanky, but counterintuitively, he demands a lot of the attention, so he's sort of a tank in disguise.
Every single lane losing in CS as Jinx picks up her 143rd kill. That makes her 33 over Caitlyn. Not only does she have a lead in kills, she also has 33
Yeah, they picked that
minions.
tower up, though, really nice, and there's nothing that they could do about it. It was so low. And they're actually chasing State of Lunacy now. Look at this. She has to use her 90 caliber net to back away, and yeah, the Sheriff of Piltover's having a real hard time with the outlier.
It is not looking good here for this Nidalee mid as they're trying another engage.
Syllabus looking for that jump, and the Cougar cannot get away in time. She's going to flash and jump all over the place, trying to meet up with the rest of her teammates. Suchi being chased down, but will he get the kill on it? Nope, he gets kicked away, and he'll go down. Now it's become a 2v3 all of a sudden. Nidalee in the back, that's exactly where she likes to be. Syllabus tries to jump, gets bitten by the Troll King, and he's going to have to run really fast. OG Banner gives his life for him almost, and they can't quite follow up with the kill, or can they? There's the barrier, they're diving, they don't care. Base World wants it, he gets it, but what cost? BenQ Farmer has to take out the fight, and Base World gets picked up on the back foot by Syllabus. Nice pickup by Sulky from the rocket onto Dio.
Wow, that was a great play turned around by Team Jenay there to be able to...
She's chasing all the way through. She's going to get State of Lunacy, chasing all the way into range. No, Thresh is going to hook her all the way back. Sulky, too greedy, pushed too far, and Checkling will now pick up that kill, gets ignited for his trouble by Morgana, but what a play, hooking Jinx backwards to keep her from killing Caitlyn.
Getting a little too excited there, Jinx. I think she was really feeling the adrenaline running through after that cross-map rocket that she had. You know, that was a bad mistake by her to allow them to get that kill and Caitlyn to get back in the game.
They gave shutdown cold too to Thresh, and that's not exactly what you want to do. Thresh is probably not the worst target to feed it to, but now he's going to be a little bit bigger. You see he's already upgraded into the Moby boots. He should have his coin item done pretty soon. And, you know, this could be the makings of a turnaround. They're losing in towers by a sizable amount, 3-1, or 4-1, excuse me. And I think that Jenny still got this game. They just can't get too cocky. That was a bit of a hard chase from Jinx, and without her execution rocket to finish it up, there really was no reason to dive that far into the turret.
Yep, you're exactly right there. You know, Team Noballs doing a great job to take a bad situation and make it very good for themselves. And Kha'Zix starting 3-0, now having 2 deaths, and Lee Sin starting, you know, 0-2, I think. Now he's 2-3. He's really doing good to get back in here.
Yeah, next big objective for these teams is going to be to focus on this dragon fight, but if they manage to pick a kill off, see, look at Tsuchi, he's already out of the way. He's actually has to flash into the Baron pit to get away, so that's a nice burn, but meanwhile there's a mid lane fight going on between Syllabus, OG Banner, and 2 members of, well, now 1 member of Do It Noballs, and then Madayo looking to be the next. That goes down. Checkling comes in for some relief pitching. They find OG Banner with the hook. They actually will flay backwards. Nice job. State of Lunacy can finish this off, and Madayo's got to be careful not to take too much. Build over Peacemaker misses its mark, but Checkling will take the kill at the end of the day. Now, there's a full-on collapse coming in. It's going to be a 3v4. Who's going to win this one? BenQ Farmer taking up a lot of damage, but they're chasing onto Sulky. A nice flay backwards, and they're looking for her. She rockets in, and Madayo will pick her up at the end of the day, and Lebanon will fall as well. This is looking to be a nice pickup. Excellent ace coming out of Do It Noballs, who will now have free reign of the tower, as Mundo is the only member of Jenay to be up.
I don't know if you noticed, but Morgana tried to flash in and get her ult, but I don't think she realized she still had about 2 or 3 seconds left on the cooldown, and she was dead before she even had a chance.
Yeah, Morgana couldn't quite time it the way she needed to, and that really cost a lot for Jenay. I think Sulky is, you know, once again getting a little bit cocky. That's the 2nd death in a row he's had, and it's mostly because he jumped into the fight without being near his peelers.
The tides are really starting to turn for Jenay as the purple team's getting the tankiness that we were talking
Mundo
about.
wanted to come in and try and cleaver steal that dragon, but Trundle just said, nope, here's a pillar in your face, and he actually got caught. He's so bulky from working out that he couldn't get through that lane.
I absolutely love doing that with Trundle whenever you get to pin someone between the wall and your pillar and they have no idea what to do after that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this could be a big turnaround right now. I think that if they take a couple more engages like that, Do It Noballs are in really great shape to grab this game and move on to the finals.
You're exactly right. You know, what we were talking about here in the beginning is that Do It Noballs is looking to become tanky, and the early game engages that Jenay was doing on them weren't really proving good.
Speaking of out of the position again, Sulky's caught by BenQ Farmer. See, this is another problem. She's getting caught over and over again where she has really no business being, and after a stellar start for Sulky's Jinx, they're just kind of tearing her apart at this, being caught out over and over again without any support.
You know, that's the 2nd time she's really decided to go against what everyone else and what the smart thing is to do and just try to get the farm. You know, exactly like you said, she's becoming cocky, and she's ignoring the fact that her team is team fighting in mid lane.
Yeah, Caitlyn might not be as big as her, but they're really doing well in this. A nice coin pop, and they're going to have a little bit of an engage. Syllabus caught up by himself, but he could almost take out Base World solo. Well, maybe not. They're going to dive on into him, and there's a kick to the face. The bug goes down. Lebanon, now the next target. Tayo gets a nice double kill. They're doing really fantastic, and now they have to get out of here, though, because they've already given up a really, really low Base World. Has to get out of the area. He can't continue this fight. Checkling is going to get chased through the jungle by Juicy and OG Banner, but Tayo is right on the backside. Will she be enough to take them out? OG Banner's going to wild growth, but there's an ace in the hole. Nice pickup, though, onto Checkling. He was too low to follow up, and now Madayo's really, really low as well. Nice barrier pop there. OG Banner turning around. Base World will go down to Suchi, but this is not going to be enough to stop, or is it going to be enough to stop Mundo? Sulky is going to get turned around on now, and this is just a problem that he came too late to the party. Can't pick up Madayo, and they make it a 3-4-2.
I think it's safe to say that Team Noballs is now in the lead here. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that they're going on the offensive now. It's time for them to get it together, take advantage of the fact that Jenay is making mistakes, and continue on with the game and become the tanky factor that they want to be.
Is so high that they took that tower out really without any follow-up potential. Syllabus was chunking on a BenQ Farmer, but he healed it all right back up. And at this point, you're right. They have the run of it. All they need to do is start pushing towers and pushing their advantage, taking more objectives as they go. They got that last dragon. They're clearing wards in the jungle. This is exactly what they need. Well, this might not be what they need because State of Lunacy's caught out a little bit. The net needs to be saved. There it goes, but it misses onto Syllabus, and here comes the leap. State of Lunacy has to flash away. There's the lantern to save his life. Syllabus will go home empty-handed for the time being.
Another fantastic Thresh play and Thresh awareness there. You know, Thresh is really doing a good job for being there for Caitlyn, while Morgana, you know, and Jinx, like we were saying, Jinx is kind of ignoring the fact that Morgana's there for her and going off alone, and that's how she's been getting caught.
Well, this composition, too, is a little bit squishier for Team Jenay. Mundo is really their only pure tank. Kha'Zix can be this weird sort of damaging tank because he demands the attention, but when he's by himself, he gets taken out really quickly. So actually, they're going to go straight for a Baron. I think Do It Noballs, they might be a little bit ahead of themselves here. They're going to clear the ward, so they know it's happening. Jenny, can they respond to this? They're all over the map. Kha'Zix is back at the fountain. I don't think they can. This could be an easy Baron for Do It Noballs.
Depends what they decide to do here.
And that's OG Banner. Wow, he almost got picked up.
Yeah, it was a barely off Thresh Pillar. If he would have had that a couple inches to the left, he would have gotten a great engage on him.
Yeah, now Becky Farmer gets locked up, but they're going to go right onto Leviton. And here comes Juicy trying to get something in here, but he's doing nothing but taking damage. Checkling does get taken out quickly by Sylvis, but now he's extremely slow. Sulky, though, takes a big amount of damage from an Italy Spear, still safe for the time being. Base World says, you're not getting out alive, picks her up. He himself is taken down to almost no health. Syllabus looking for blood. He gets him, but he's going to get out just barely by the skin of his teeth. And Amidio looking for blood as well. State of Lunacy getting locked up by a nice dark binding. Leviton's still in there, but she's by herself now. And this could be the end of Jenay's team fighting hopes here. They actually are getting chased down all the way. A nice bite. Leviton will get picked up. And wow, no, he doesn't. He's still alive.
I look here for another great pillar coming out on Farmer. If he can land a good one. Nope, never mind. It's not like
that was a nice lockup by Morgana. Good save to make the score at the end of it. I believe that was 3 for 3.
Yeah,
no, they didn't
I
pick
think
up State
it was.
Lunacy. So it might have been 2. Now, Amidio caught out of position here, but Syllabus turned right around on. You cannot jump on the Cougar like that if you're a bug, and he gets squashed.
I mean, I think if we were 10 minutes into earlier in the game, he could have done that, but he's kind of, all of Jenay is ignoring the fact that the purple team, or Team Noballs, is really back in this and actually stronger than them in terms of gold.
Yeah, Kha'Zix has fallen off just a little bit. He's gotten a lot of kills, but he's died so many times that his items really aren't up to par, and he's just getting chunked so fast. Sulky, continuing to be out of position, gets caught in another Thresh hook. Here comes Checkling trying to take it. They don't actually want to take the Thresh Lantern. Banking Farmer is in the area, but Sulky, I think we'll have enough support to get out of this one alive, but this is a really, really touchy situation for them to be in, and they have to protect Jinx, but she has to be in range to protect.
Looking back again on the Trundle situation, he is now 8-1 after starting off the game 0-1. I cannot believe that he is back in this game and that they allowed him to get back in this game, but he is a super factor right now for Team Noballs.
Yeah, he's taken lots and lots of kills on these engagements and chasing just so hard. He's the one that's still alive, even though he's in the front line after all the fights, and Trundle is just absolutely a beast. Now, looks like Jenay is going to be looking to try and clear Dragon as soon as it's up. They will have the time to do it. There's not enough members of Noballs to really contest this right now, so they will get a Dragon, but they might answer for it with a quick Baron. It looks like Noballs is looking to posture for that. They're pinging for it. Are they going to get there in time, though? I don't know. This Dragon was taken down really quickly, and they're turning straight for it.
That was pretty bad on Team Noballs' part for not understanding that they couldn't really get the Baron there. I feel like they could have contested it, or they could have done a better job with the timers.
Ooh, Sulky will eat a big spear on the max range. Half Helson now, and if I am Team Jenay, I gotta be really careful because you don't know where Trundle is. He might be pushing on the top, but yep, taken extremely low now. Looks like Syllabus had to actually tank that ace in the hole, and Sulky not looking too healthy. This is actually a 4v5 that is working out for Do It Noballs. Wow, Trundle is taking the top.
Yep, you're right. That was a very crucial Nidalee spear on Sulky to get them to back off. If she had not gotten that spear, it could have been a completely different story there mid lane.
They clearly have a better poke composition right now, and with Nidalee in the position that she's in with the Athenes, with the Sork shoes, with the Rabadon's death cap, she's just hurting so bad. They need to avoid her, and they cannot dive in and take a spear to the face. It's just too much of a risk, and they have to let it go. There's OG Banner getting half health too. All they got out of it was a dark binding onto Lee Sin, and that does almost no damage at this point. Trundle, meanwhile, making a move for the top lane second tier turret, and the rest of his team is joining him. They're looking to siege this one up, and I don't see Jenay stopping him.
You know, just like I said, I think Nidalee heard me early on saying that she wasn't landing her spears.
Yeah, this was a nice little turnaround. Jinx launches a rocket, but doesn't have the execution power to finish off Caitlyn just at this time, so they have to settle for backing away. State of Lunacy healed up nice and easy by Amidio, and they're looking for some kind of angle that they can get something on, but they're just going to instead posture around the top side and hope to catch someone out.
Team Jenay pretty much saying, we may be down, but we are definitely not out yet as they catch off Kha'Zix here.
Yeah, they're going to jump on Syllabus. Base World takes him out, and all of a sudden it's become a 5v4. Can they make something of it, though? Sulky, he can't really get in the action without getting taken low himself. Checkling eats a bit of damage there, but he doesn't really worry about it. I think they might just try for the Baron, and it looks like they're going to start it.
Syllabus just not doing a very good job with sticking with his team. He's been going off alone, and he's been getting caught. He's been being super aggressive, and that's what's been the downfall for Team Jenay here in the last 5 minutes.
They still could take a fight here. This is a really, really rough situation because State of Lunacy's taking a lot of Baron aggro, and Juicy is the main one in this front line here. Base World jumps in. He's taken extremely low. Lebanon now on the other side. She gets taken out before Roll goes down, and so falls Mundo. There he goes. Sulky taken zoned out of the fight thanks to an ace in the hole. OG Banner all by his lonely at this point. GG BenQ Farmer taken a big chase onto him. A nice spear lands, and that's not going to be enough to save Lulu. They can turn around to this Baron as soon as they pick her up. No problem. And it looks like it's just going to be time running out for OG Banner, who is being chased all the way to the wrong side of the base. Nice flash forward for State of Lunacy, a little bit angry and a little bit aggro. Jinx Rocket will find absolutely nothing, and that was a total of 4, because they took out, they took out Syllabus before that fight, and all they lost was Lee Sin.
Yep, that was a very good job by Team Noballs to pick up those kills. I don't know if chasing the Lulu was the best idea because they probably could have gotten a quick Baron in there, but I don't know, it ended up working out.
Speaking of chases, BenQ Farmer looking for Syllabus right now. He actually has to ult to get away from this, and yep, Syllabus ults one more time. BenQ Farmer is a really scary force in this game. He's died once, like you said. That was the beginning of the game to that early gank in the top lane, or that early 3-man that pushed him all the way back, but he has come back stronger than ever, and he's just so tanky and so powerful they cannot really do anything against him.
So looking at this game right now, what does Jenay have to do in order to get back in this one?
They need to start feeding Jinx a lot more kills. They need to get Kha'Zix to go with the team and initiate fights and peel by being that really aggressive jump all over the place Kha'Zix bug that he is. If they can do that, and they can jump all over Caitlyn, and they can take down Nidalee as well, then the damage output is almost nothing. But look at this, even a 3 for 1. BenQ Farmer is doing really well to deal a lot of damage to Syllabus, and he might actually take him out. He actually flashes away. Syllabus cannot take this. The Ignite ticks all the way down to almost nothing, and BenQ Farmer is still alive. He is way too tanky. Here comes Base World in for something, only to be relieved by Sulky. Nicely done. Good rocket. They take out Trundle. This could be their time to shine. If Kha'Zix can get back to base and heal himself up in time, he actually is going to be a big force in this next fight. Juicy looking to chase in by Dio. She's going to be the next target. Flashes away. They're syncing up with the rest of Purple Team. Can they do it, though? This is a 4 for 4 because Kha'Zix is still back at the base, and this could be the time that Sulky has just enough to pick up the kills. Will he be able to get in there, though? I don't think they're going to allow him the chance.
A great job catching out Trundle there in the jungle, but as we saw, that is a testament to how strong he is. You know, he had 3 on him at one time, and he was still not going down. Luckily, they caught him out with the Dark Binding again to secure the kill, but man, that Trundle is looking scary right now.
Yeah, he's really the big problem, the thorn in the side. He almost 3v1'd them, or 1v3'd them. To be able to take Kha'Zix out would have been a masterful stroke. When you have 3 people of the enemy team on you, when you still get a kill before you go down, that just says how far ahead you are. Doing all the right things, though. Noballs, as they gave Nidalee another blue buff. They can siege up this mid lane turret. I think we're looking to be in for a long game, though, because Jenay has managed to claw themselves out into a reasonable situation. They just have to keep anti-sieging and taking objective fights whenever they can.
Yep, you're exactly right. Look for Mundo to build as tanky as he possibly can, and Jinx to continue to pick up the kills. As long as they can do that, they're going to stand a chance here against Team Noballs.
And it looks like people are wanting to posture for the Baron Dance. They're looking for it, but are they going to be able to really contest something? Jenay has so far done well at picking people out, but can they take a 5v5 fight? This is the question that's going to get answered when this next dance occurs.
You know, I personally do not think Jenay needs to be fighting right now. I think they need to stay away from the Baron Pit and not get caught.
Can't fight now. Lebanon, 2/3 of his health melted from one Nidalee spear.
Wow.
This is a real problem.
That is exactly what they didn't want to happen here, as Lee Sin's looking for the engage now.
He's just going to back out. Nice Thresh Hook or Thresh Lantern to save his bacon for the time being, and they'll just keep on poking and prodding and seeing if they can take something. Lee Sin clearing wards over at the Baron Pit. He'll find another one in the bush, or maybe he won't.
Mundo doing a great job blocking that Lee Sin Q, because if it would have been on anyone like Lulu or Jinx, I guarantee you he would have gone in for that.
I'm doing a good job at dodging those Nidalee spears. They've realized how much damage they do. And Trundle is starting to head up this siege. Caitlyn's going to use an ace in the hole to poke Lebanon down and keep her a little bit out of the fight. OG Banner has to get out of this because he's way too low to contest any objectives, and this is the time to strike. This is what Jenny can do, or Noballs can do. They can get in here and take this turret down while it's still only 3 defenders. Lulu's coming back. Mundo's already back at the fountain. Lebanon poked all the way down by the spear. They don't really want any piece of it, though. They just continue to siege without minions. And actually, nice pickup for Enmadio. They poke down to nothing. Banner taken out. And now Sulky. This is a lot of hit point spears. I can't even speak. This is so good.
I think Nidalee heard me early on when I said she wasn't doing very well, because she's really kicked it up in this game.
Yeah, they're going to take this tower now. This is a really good job. Nice push on the pressure, waiting for the minions. And I think, yep, Noballs is going to have an easy time taking this inhibitor down. If only Jenny can find a way to their backline, they can do something. But so far, they have not been able to find it. And they'll get out just fine with the inhibitor, turning around for the Baron. And at this point, Jenny has to contest it.
Enma is really doing a good job with landing those spears, and Noballs is doing a very good job with capitalizing as they look like they're going to go for this Baron 5v3.
Yeah, now with Lulu still down, I really don't see any contest that Jenny can take here. It looks like Noballs is going to be pushing so hard on this, so fast, that there's no contest possible. Thank You Farmer is soloing half the enemy team, and he's actually almost killed Juicy. He almost gets him, he forces him to ult. OG Lebanon is in here, he gets melted before his ult can even pop, and they will have no such luck at the end of this game. If they get these 2 kills, Syllabus and Sulky go down. This is easily the end of the game. Sulky will surely fall, and Madaio gets the godlike buff, and it looks like they're zoned out of the fight. The Bug is the only one left standing. OG Banner back at base. No, he's not. He's actually wandering through the jungle because he can't even get back. This could easily be the end of the game here. A 5-man Baroned up, Do It Noballs, looking to push for the win, and only Kha'Zix is there to stop him.
A resounding 15k gold lead now Noballs has over Team Jenay as they take down these final Nexus turrets.
Yep, this is easily going to be the end of the game. There's no way they can contest this. The power is overwhelming, and there it goes. Kha'Zix jumps in for the save, but too late. GG, and well played to Do It Noballs.
Noballs really did a good job getting back into the game. Like we said earlier, the fact that Team Jenay's combination was based around the early engage, and that's exactly what they did. They tried to get in there for the engages. The only problem is that Kha'Zix got really cocky, and then the Jinx got really cocky as well. They were able to get caught out, and that was what was able to get Team Noballs back into the game.
Absolutely. I really liked the early game from Team Jenay. They showed a fantastic level of play. They picked up a couple of easy Kha'Zix kills. They got Jinx fed in a lot of turnaround engages, but then the unthinkable happened. They started getting out of position. They started not really taking good team fights that they needed to. Jinx was really a problem in this fight. Sulky got caught out 6 times. Almost all those deaths were catch-out kills. And there's a couple of team fights that were decent. There just wasn't enough potential to really follow up once Jinx was dead. So this is the problem Jenay had. They couldn't protect the AD carry, and it wasn't all on Sulky. There were just a couple times they couldn't quite peel. But I feel like if she had not been so out of position in a lot of those like solo bot lane pushes, this would have been a much different game. But let's discuss MVPs.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a few people that I think should be the MVP in this game, especially the ones that had a contributing factor to the comebacks. I think Trundle should be in the run, and I think Nidalee should be in the run. But ultimately, what I'm going to say is that Nidalee deserves the MVP. And Enma did a great job with those spears at the end. She did exactly what she needed to do. She caught people out. She chunked them half health, and every single time she did that, Team Noballs was able to take an advantage.
Yeah, I think that was a really fantastic level of poke, and they actually picked up a couple of kills. And Madaio was just on point with those spears, not to make a bad pun. And let's see if we can actually talk to somebody from, actually I think we'll get the captain from Do It Noballs to discuss a little bit more about their victory. And
I think
we will
that's
be going
great.
to them in just a moment. There we go. All right, so joining us now live in chat, as soon as their background music gets taken off. All right,
Looks like they're really excited about that game.
That is some serious post-game celebration. How's it going, Checkling? We're talking with the Thresh Prince of last game. It is Checkling, the support for Team Do It Noballs.
How you doing?
Good, man. Congratulations on your guys' victory. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Well, you know, from day one, we were thinking of this comp back in school, because, you know, we all know each other. And since we were going through our comps, the man himself, Thank You Farmer, was... We looked at their previous game since we were spectating it on, because it was streamed, and their top Olaf was completely dominating. So we thought we need to throw a curveball at him.
And you went with the Trundle pickup. How did you handle that
Farmer
early
went
lane
with the
swap?
Trundle pickup.
That early game lane swap where they put Jinx and Morgana up in the top lane and made life really hard for Benki Farm in the early game. After those 2 kills got picked up by Kha'Zix, what were your thoughts?
I don't know, man. Since State of Lunacy went Caitlyn, she has a lot of range, so I knew we were going to win the game.
All right, trusting in your AD carries. I like it. And, we named Nidalee Emidio the MVP of that game. And, I don't know about you guys, but I think she absolutely deserved it. It was a fantastic level of spears, and that really allowed you guys to spiral out of control once you started winning the team fights.
Definitely.
Yep, Team Noballs really showing that they actually do have balls there at the end with those diddly spears taking people halfway. You like that? I thought that was pretty good.
Ed,
Thank you.
That was some tons of damage.
Thank you.
And with that, we're going to throw it over to the next game. The finals, I believe, are just about to be set up. So I hope you guys are excited, Checkling, because you're going to be heading straight into the finals to face off against the winner of Forsaken Gaming and Lag I Swear NA.
Looks to be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, well, we'll be bringing you to the next one, but we'll cut it over to a quick bit of music for you guys, and we'll get the next game ready. So don't you guys go nowhere. Keep it locked to Lil Tourneys, and I hope you've enjoyed the show so far.
Make sure you stay tuned, guys.